Welcome back everyone to my channel. Thanks so much for being here. I appreciate it. I hope you guys had a great week this past 7 days, and into this video I'm working with 3 colors, 2 new to me that I hadn't used before. Now this light blue is one of my favorites by Liquitex, leading into some other cool puddles also by Liquitex, and a really deep and beautiful crimson going into this pattern. So I'm leading it with a bit of a lighter color into some dark, along with some iridescent gray silver by Liquitex, also a soft bodied acrylic. And this pour turned out possibly top 3 ever out of my 150 plus paintings I've done so far. So stick with me, we'll get through it and we will see the finished product in a bit. Okay, and as for this particular pattern on the pour, I decided to stay symmetrical this week. So I'm going with a bit of a mimicked look, I suppose. So I wanted to try to lay down as close to the same pattern as possible within reason on both sides of the canvas, so attacking both ends equally was my plan. So from here, I decided to kind of keep them close knit and let the puddles spread as they would. And from there, we got 2 really kind of cool puddles with some great contrast with the crimson and light blue. And the silver gave the rest this pop I was really pretty pumped with. And now as for this particular puddle pour, I haven't had a puddle in a while, so this was pretty fun. Now, in full disclosure, I got the idea from watching a video from Fiona's Creative Canvas, who is really good. So check her out when you've got some more minutes available to you. Again, that's Fiona's Creative Canvas. She is amazing. So she did a puddle not quite a week or 2 back based on time of recording from this video that was simply gorgeous and gave me the oomph, we'll call it, to give my own puddle a shot and add some metallics into some solid colors, which I don't typically do. You guys know, been around a while, I enjoy my metallics. They are just the best. But in terms of color scheme, I went with the dark and the light with some funky metallics, which made up for the fact that it wasn't entirely metallics. Anyway, Fiona did a great job in her pour and gave me the, like I say, kick in the butt to get going and give this a shot. So thanks to her. And again, check her out when you've got a few seconds. And also a quick little shout out to the folks at the Mackenzie Art Gallery who hosted the Bizart Makers Market this past weekend, a week back on, I guess, 7 days back on last Saturday. I attended, had a great time. There were a ton of kids who had 1,000 questions for me on my paintings and magnets and coasters I made. So it's always fun getting to participate in an activity like that and show kids who are just super curious on how you make things and kind of fill their brains with all these possibilities. So thanks again to Bizart. It was a great weekend. I had a lot of fun, was fairly successful in the sale itself. Anyway, thanks again, and we will see you in 2025. Now, going into the rest of the pour here, I decided to follow Fiona's lead and used a fork to wreck my puddles. Now, I've never used a fork. This is really awkward feeling, to be honest. Now, in having tried a new thing, I'm really glad I saw what Fiona had done, because when you typically break your puddles, they really pull that color through into the second and third and fourth puddle. Now the fork, being very narrow in terms of its prongs, right, doesn't pull a lot and just gives a little tug on the previous puddle leading into the second. So this was a nice breakup, but didn't overdo it. And I really was pretty happy with, I guess, finding a new tool to use in the tool belt going forward on some pours in the future. Alright, and as for the wrecks of those puddles, I wanted them to be subtle, so I don't want to overdo it too much leading into my swipes. Now, having not done a swipe in a week or 2, I was a little hesitant in terms of my capability and my ability to successfully get through this swipe without burying the palette knife into my paints. Now this came out really, really good. I was very happy with how that ended up. Now, I used a smaller palette knife in my second and third swipes because I was on a 12 by 24 canvas, keeping in mind I didn't have a ton of room, so I wanted to go corner to corner off my first and then just kind of follow the lead, leaving a bit of negative space between the first, second, and third line of lacing. Now again, I'm really happy with how these swipes turned out. I think the lacing in this piece is possibly one of the best I've ever done. And if you keep trying at a specific thing and maybe weren't super great at it, like I wasn't in terms of swipes, keep trying, you'll get better and improve week over week and year over year, and simply enjoy the process and your learning. Okay, and as for this particular color scheme, what are your guys' feelings and thoughts on crimson as my color choice? Now, I feel like crimson is a much nicer color than red is. I believe that it's because I'm a big purple fan, which is hilarious to me. Now, crimson and this light blue went really well together, along with the iridescent silver, which is really, really pretty. Now again, what are your thoughts on crimson as a color and a choice of mine I maybe used this week? And again, color scheme wise, what are your thoughts there? I love your comments below in the comment section and we can chat about it. Okay, and as I go in for my tilts, I'm keeping in mind I want to keep the crimson as a bit of a focal point in this pour. Now, which means to me right now, in terms of speaking this over as I watch it back, I am going to be tilting the silver and the blue off first. Now, I chose this corner bottom right to us looking down on it because I am keeping in mind as well that the nice lacing I had earlier needs to stay in the middle. So if I come this way first and go back towards the far corner with the big blob of crimson in its corner, I can dump that last and then maintain the lacing structure as it is, but of course spreading out the other three in the end. Okay, and as we go into this last couple of corners for these tilts, every week I tend to joke off and on that there's always learning opportunities in every pour, and I swear that is true every week. Now, the learning here for me this week around was try new paints. I bought some stuff I haven't used yet, but having purchased this soft bodied Liquitex, as I show off the painting there to us, really showed me that if you go outside of what you know now and then and try a different and fun color that you may not have tried otherwise, sometimes you might make like the best thing you've ever done in the last 18 months. Depends what you're used to, right? So I'm a big Liquitex guy. I love Amsterdam. I am very structured for what I do, but having tried this outside the box color, it has allowed me to now think of ideas and other color combinations that may look really good going forward, and has taught me a bit of a lesson in that step outside of what you're comfortable with doing and try something new for the first or second or third or 79th time, because it can be super, super fun. Alright, now as we pull this paint back into the middle of the canvas, again, I am really quite pleased with this pour. Me being biased, this is my painting. I can judge it and rank it. This may be top 5 in the past 2 years. I'm really, really happy with how this one turned out. Here is the overhead look of the finished product. Now, this is about a day later. It is mostly dry, and I'm really happy with how the lacing structure stuck together. It dried really, really pretty. And again, I think that in my experience, not having done a lot of different things, I am so glad I tried a new color or two this pour. Again, try new things, give them a shot. It's always worth trying, right? So anyway, if you have enjoyed this video, please click the like button below, and we can see you again in the next one.